Hey everyone, and welcome to Already Cancelled. I am Peter, that is Connor, and we are going to talk about Star Trek The Next Generation, Season 3, Episode 2. It's called The Ensigns of Command. So, full spoilers for the episode, as always. This episode sees the Enterprise in a bit of a pickle as they're in this treaty, or the Federation have got this treaty with this alien race called the Shalik, and they're going to colonize this planet that the treaty has agreed that this is in their domain, that they have the rights to this planet. However, this alien race have found that there are humans living on it, which should be impossible because the conditions on the planet should make it uninhabitable for humans. But the Enterprise are going to check out what's going on. The Shalik have given them 3 days to basically get everyone off, because this alien race are they see themselves as higher beings, and they have no problems exterminating the humans. If anything, they're seeing this as a nice courtesy that they're letting them have a chance of.
I assume this was part of the treaty.
Oh, probably, yeah. Well, this is the other thing we find out, is that they're very strict about laws and rules. Like, anything that's in the treaty as a rule is like they'll fall to the T, and they'll be not. And this is ultimately how they're defeated later, as Picard finds a clause that will help them get by some time.
Well, there's always a loophole.
Yeah, but they're not unwilling to negotiate. Doing anything that's going off the books is like abhorrent to them. They don't want to hear about it. But because it's uninhabitable, they send Data down to sort of try and tell everyone they need to evacuate and convince everyone. So it's a bit of a Data episode, and that he gets to be the sole member of the crew who goes down to these people who don't want to leave. The leader of this group has no interest in leaving. Generations ago, or ancestors. Well,
I don't think it was that long. It was like grandparents.
Yeah. Okay. Well, the grandparents.
Technically still ancestors, but
yeah, I was just trying to think of the word for because it's not descendants. I feel like descendants you can use no matter how big a gap you're talking, but there's no like short-term ancestor.
We need to create a word. Is that what you're saying?
I'm just saying, let me have ancestor. But he talks about how they bled for this, they sweat for this, all this stuff, and we're not giving it up. But of course, the Shalik are like, no, if I've not gone in 3 days, we're just going to kill everyone. They're all dead. Nothing you can do about it. So Data has to try and talk them into this and convince them why they have to leave. Meanwhile, on the Enterprise, where they can't get everyone up because the force field around it, well, not force field, but the natural radiation of the planet means it's impossible to transport anyone. They have to take a shuttle down, for the record. Just not
transports are down, phasers are down,
and so they can't beam people up. Moving the I think it was like 1,500 or maybe even 15,000. 15,000, yeah. Moving all them via the shuttles they've got in the Enterprise would take. It was like months, I think they said.
I think it was like 4 weeks and 3 days.
Yeah. And the reinforcements from Federation to give them more shuttles would make it much quicker, but they can't get there for 3 weeks. So on the ship, it becomes about Picard trying to convince the aliens to let them have 3 weeks, which they're not having. And it does lead to a pretty glorious scene, actually, later on. It's a little bit repetitive, and a lot of it is they try and talk to the aliens say no and hang up. That happens like 2 or 3 times. But the scene where Picard finally gets to do it to them is kind of wonderful.
It is, yeah. There's a few really good moments before that as well that I really like. I think it's like the second time they get hung up on, which is where they're actually on the other ship and they just get teleported back to their own ship.
Mm-hmm.
And Riker's like, well, I guess they hung up on you again. It's like, yep.
Yeah, it was effectively the same thing, yeah. But, they find this, they're looking through all the rules and all that, and Picard finds the things like, oh, here we go, like, we have to get a mediator. And he picks the mediator, but he picks the race that he knows are in hibernation and won't be out of hibernation for 6 months. So he's like, well, we can wait 6 months for the mediator, or you can give me my 3 weeks. And he just hangs up. And what the best part about it is it doesn't cut away. It just stays with Picard and everyone on the bridge as Picard just sort of slowly paces. Yeah, just with almost a grin on his face, just walking around. And Riker just sort of looking up at him with a cheeky grin on his face, knowing that Picard's enjoying this.
And then you get, incoming call. And he's just kind of looking around at the ceiling, casual.
he lets it ring like however many times before he finally says, "Okay, Mr. Worf, patch them through." Like, he makes them wait. He makes them sweat just a little bit, and the aliens just go, "This will be accepted," and then just hang up again. And Riker's like, "You enjoyed that, didn't you?" He's like, "Bloody right, I did." So that was a delightful scene. I actually laughed at the start as well because the opening scene before the plot proper starts happening is that O'Brien's in a string quartet in the the bar area. I can't remember what it's called. And he's with some no name red shirts, and they're getting ready to play. And in walks Data with his violin. Someone's going to correct me and say it's like actually a fiddle or whatever. I don't know. I can't tell them apart. Right.
Like a violin to me, and I play the damn thing.
Exactly. Connor knows what he's done. So he comes out and he tells, and Picard and Crusher are there, and he's like, "Hey, you should probably come for the performance after this that I'm not in because I'm not very good." And he gives him a reason why he's going to suck.
He's technically proficient. He just has no soul.
Yeah. And they try and explain to him that, sometimes there's such a thing as being too honest and you should just go for it. But what made me laugh in this scene is Picard gets the call from Riker that there's an issue on the bridge, he has to go. So he gets up and leaves the room while Data's playing, and Data just looks over. He looks like a child watching his dad leave his performance. It's almost like someone's leaving and disgust at how bad it is, but it's like it was your own parent doing it.
It's quite funny.
And Data's just like looking over, but not getting emotional because he's Data, right? But
he's just confused.
Yeah, you can see it in his face. It's beautiful. There's a lot. Do you know what? It's not an overly funny episode, but there's like 3 or 4 funny scenes. The other one that really made me laugh is that when everything starts going on the Enterprise and they call in Geordi and O'Brien into the ready room, and they're like, right, because obviously Geordi's the head engineer, O'Brien's the transporter dude, right? And he's like, okay, what we're about to say, I don't want to hear this is impossible. You're just going to have to accept this and try and do it, right? We need you to find a way to get the transporter working even with the radiation field. And Geordi even goes, but that's going to be okay, Captain. And they walk out. And that's not the funny scene. I'm just saying that's just a setup, right? The scene that made me laugh in this sort of C plot, we'll call it, if it's even that, because it's only a couple of scenes, is there's a couple of scenes in the transporter room where they're testing it on like metal objects, right? And they're coming back kind of deformed and whatever. The second time we see this, right, they've just been one, and it's not quite as deformed as the first one, but it's clearly still not working. Picard comes in, and it's all just one shot, right? And you've got O'Brien, you've got Geordi, and Wesley's also in there helping, I guess, just being a helper.
He's just kind of there, not making a nuisance of himself for once. And
Picard walks in, it says, "How goes it, LaForge?" And he's like, "About as well as you'd expect, sir." He's like, "Very good," and just walks back out, and they all just stand there just confused, like, we don't know what to do. I don't know, it really made me laugh.
It was that, and then the final beat to this was quite funny as well.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, everything's just been solved, we've got the 3 weeks, and he comes up and goes, "I think we've got it, we'll just need 100 years and a team of technicians." He's like, "Let's just delay that for now."
Would it almost be funny if he came up and said, "We've cracked it," and then Picard would just go, "Oh, we don't need it anymore, we've got the 3 weeks." I don't know. So credit where credit's due, a lot of the subplots in this somehow ended up being quite funny. So that is fair. The main plot with Data on the planet is not bad. I think it suffers from what some Star Trek episodes suffer from, where the characters of the week who are on the planet they're in are just kind of uninteresting and they don't accomplish much beyond what they're there to do plot-wise, kind of thing.
No, they're just kind of there. They're a bit bland, aren't they?
Yeah, Data's kind of got a love interest who clearly has a crush on him, and when she kisses him to try and like sort of kind of hype him up so that he'll try and convince everyone that they have to go and why it's dangerous. He kind of deduces why she did that. He's like, well, it's either affectionate or it's this or it's that. But given the context, it was probably to motivate me. It was to say, hey, here's some courage. And at the end of the episode, when he's leaving in the shuttle, and she's kind of sad because she's getting the feeling that Data doesn't really have feelings for her. He kisses her. It's like, why did you do that? And he's like, well, like you looked upset, and that seemed to be the thing that would make you not be upset. And she kind of laughs, but she's also dying in the inside because she wants more than anything for Data to be a real boy, and Data is just not giving it. So, kind of a sad ending for that little part of the plot. But Data, sure enough, at one point the main guy knocks out Data with like a stun rod thing. Data does convince some of them, and there's a bit of a war of words. I guess
threatens them into it.
Kind of. Well, the point he makes is not bad though, because he kind of like shows what a phaser can do, and then says, "Look, the things that are coming, I've got weapons much greater than this," and that was on stun. They're going to come and they're going to annihilate you. Like, you're helpless if you stay here.
Yeah, and they're going to do it from orbit, not down here where you can actually fight back.
Yeah, and it was. I think in terms of being logical, it was a very logical way of showing them things, so it works for Data. It works for his thought process, which is nice. So I think that element of it is good. It just wasn't super, I think, entertaining to actually watch these Data scenes on the planet.
I agree, and I think it retroactively made that opening scene with the quartet feel a little bit clunkier, because it's like, oh look, we're setting up the theme here, and I'm like, it's kind of just enjoyable enough on its own, as the joke with Picard leaving. Yeah. And here it became like incredibly relevant with, hey look, don't be too honest. And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I liked the final scene in the Enterprise though, when Picard's listening to the recording of the music that Data played, and says to him that, because Data's like, yes, I just copied the style of these composers, these players, and it doesn't really mean anything. He's like, well, yeah, but you weave two different styles together. Like, if that's not creativity, then what is? Like, that's you did that. And it sounds good. It doesn't sound like a hodgepodge. It sounds like, because obviously there's the old argument that any form of art is, at least certainly at this point, is an amalgamation of all the other artwork that you love already.
It's kind of been done before in some form or another.
Yeah, like every new person's art is essentially a greatest hits of what they liked previously, kind of like together and molded and so on and so on. And that's essentially what Data's done here in the simplest possible terms. Not to say that it was easy. It would be easy for anyone that's not a robot. Maybe Data can do it easily because he's all numbers and
maybe he can
whatnot. But it was a nice beat to end on. Nothing wrong. I thought it was a good use of characters this episode of like. We had Crusher in the opening scene, and she was relevant there, but they didn't feel the need to give her a plot. O'Brien was just, again, nicely around, being there as the sort of steady face that we see every so often.
It's nice to have someone at that level where they're not like a main character at this point. They're not really, someone you really know a lot about, but it's just recognizable that, okay, hey, there's someone there that we can rely on it to be in that area of the ship. Yeah,
we talked about how we were seeing more of him in season 2 and how he was getting more little moments, and it is nice to know that he eventually becomes a main character, if not in this show, on Deep Space Nine.
He kind of deserves it.
Yeah. And it's the best because the actor's someone who I know can do it, because he's been in a bunch of stuff. Like
but in the sense that he's putting in his time, he's working up in a really natural way, right? Like he was introduced as a nothing, like he was a red shirt for all intents and purposes, and then he got a couple of lines and just a little bit of banter and dialogue, and now it's like, okay, I know what to expect from him. I know what he's like.
Which is really funny when you consider the guy who was the head engineering for a couple of episodes in season 1 got fired because he tried to artificially make himself seem more important because he wanted a bigger role in the show. I think I read someone sent in the comments that back in this episode when we did it, that he'd fake like fan mail or something for himself to try and show that he was like he was a bigger deal and he should be on the show more. And it's funny to me that along comes O'Brien, and he like naturally, I mean, it takes a long time, but he naturally over several seasons becomes this staple and ultimately will get a sort of role, a main role on another show. It's just
like he's definitely a regular recurring supporting character at this point.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure the actor was like, hey, it's reasonably steady paycheck if nothing else, right?
Oh sure. And this is probably right before he did Under Siege 1.
Sounds about right in the timeline.
That's the first thing I knew from. I've seen him in a bunch of stuff over the years. Most recent thing I probably saw him in was I mean, this is a few years ago now, but like the Alan Partridge movie, Alpha Papa. He was
was he in that?
He was the villain in that. Yeah.
I'm not an Alan Partridge fan.
I wasn't before that movie, but that movie made me a believer. So, To
be honest, I think I'm just not really a big Steve Coogan fan.
That's the thing. I wouldn't say I am. Like, whenever he's with Rob Brydon, I prefer Rob Brydon. Like, it's night and day.
Hands down, yeah.
But like, like I thought some of his Alan Partridge stuff was really funny, and then I do think I saw. I mean, I've not seen it since I was a kid, But I remember like he did a movie called The Parole Officer where he assembled a team of all, because he was a parole officer, and he assembled a team of all of these like parolees to like do a heist, and it was like there was a decent comedy I remember at the time. But I mean, admittedly, I haven't seen that since I was like 12 or 13, so don't.
So it could be terrible.
It could be terrible. I may be misremembering that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so as far as this episode, I think it's a fine episode. It's not a standout, but it does have a lot of likable elements to it.
Yeah, like I said, it's got a lot of the moments. Like another one of the moments I really like is Picard talking about what the treaty is. He's like, oh, this isn't law, because I think the shit like, hey, no, this is law. We've got to do exactly what it says. He's like, I don't know. It's a treaty. It's designed to smooth relations, not be a straitjacket. Of course, they cut him off in the middle of that last bit, but the idea of it is a nice bit in spirit to kind of put out there.
Yeah, Joe, I like about that moment actually. I like that it feels like he's just starting to make a great Picard speech where you're really going to, this is one of those great Picard speeches, and they just cut him off. It actually adds to the moment that they just cut him off when it feels like he's about to go into one of his great speeches, right?
And it is like the start of like, okay, that's a really strong opening line, right? That's a great opening argument. Yeah, and they're just like, no, we don't give a shit about this.
You feel like he's about to go into like a Measure of a Man style of speech, and then he just gets cut off right at the start, and it's like, and it makes it funnier, and it makes the point of what the aliens are doing, how frustrating they are, really come across. So yeah, all the stuff on the Enterprise for the most part I really enjoyed, and then the stuff with Data on the planet, like I got the point of it, but it was less entertaining to actually watch.
It does its job, and I say you get it, but it's just like, okay, we'll just get through this.
Yeah. And as I said, obviously we love Data, we love a lot of Data plots. This is just a case of him getting the shorter end of the writing stick in this episode. So it is what it is. But that is the Ensign of Command. Let's have a look and see what's coming next time, and we can see if we've got more to look forward to. The next episode is called The Survivors. Here's the description on IMDb. The Enterprise responds to a distress call from Rana 4, a Federation colony that is under attack from an unknown alien ship. When they arrive, they find the entire surface of the planet destroyed, save for a single house and 2 occupants.
That has potential.
Actually,
that sounds like a description that could be an original series episode.
It does. It also sounds like there's shenanigans afoot. Like, why is this one house still up? Like,
yes, and we do love shenanigans.
Shenanigans could be there. Oh, what's that photo in the photos of this one?
Oh God. Don't tell me it's something terrible.
Oh, it must be. It's a behind-the-scenes photo. I was like, "What is this? Why is Riker look like he's about to?" It's basically a bunch of like set hands, like holding like these inflatable mattresses behind Riker. I assume he's about to fall down on it, but I just, I mean, it doesn't look like he's actually falling down in the shot. It looks like he's like doing like a weird march forward. But it was a thumbnail. It looked really like, I was like, "What's that?" But
what's going on there?
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
That's just not that interested. We'll see it.
But yeah, it just means he's going to get knocked down at some point. No biggie.
I'm shocked.
Yeah, not into a puddle though. Those days are over. I hope.
I was going to say, I wouldn't be so sure about that if I were you.
Puddles are only over until it rains evil again.
Terrible.
You'll love it. You love it. All right, that's episode 2 of season 3. So we'll be back next time for the next one. So let us know what you thought of this in the comments below. Like and subscribe, all that stuff. Get us on the Twitters at mail_fuzz for channel updates. If you want to support the show and the channel and everything we do here, head over to patreon.com/mailfuzztv. You can support us for as little as $1 per month and get some bonuses. $5 tier, of course, you get early access to a bunch of stuff, including these Star Trek reviews. So go and have a look and see if you're interested. Otherwise, though, make sure you check out the Picard reviews that are happening week to week. That I do with Tara, and check out all the other content we have on the channel and the various podcast feeds. So thank you once again for watching or listening. We always appreciate it. Keep watching Star Trek, guys. And remember, when it comes to the ladies, Wesley Crusher is in complete control.